You know what you did.
I know what I did.
Oh, you know, but does anyone else?
No.
And then that brings us over. Should we talk about bootleg Secret Santa in like now, or should we wait until the half pint because that is closer to the release date? Okay, no, we'll leave it to the half pint.
This comes out 1 week before, and the next main episode comes out the same day.
Ooh, tricky.
So I was thinking,
But I mean,
should we have anyone else on as guests? Just have a chaotic 7-person.
Yeah, let's get seven people, extra people in here, or 7 people in total.
Yeah, 7 people in total, but yeah, still.
All trying to use Riverside at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, that will never get that done.
If we could just set aside a whole day for that, that'd be fine.
I think that would be our recorded WhatsApp call.
Can you do that? Can you do a group call on WhatsApp?
Yes.
Oh, right.
And you can just use OBS to record it. I mean, that...
but you don't get the separate track.
No.
So you're screwed if you want to edit something out.
Yeah, levels are not good.
And
that sort of thing. So.
But that means that all right, now we've made a cliffhanger for the cliffhanger for the cliffhanger. So we're good on that. So welcome to episode 117 of the Make Crude Mistakes podcast with Phil from Phil Makes Things, KJ from Crude But Efficient, and myself, Haavard, behind all the connectivity issues this week. I'm coming from my phone on 5G network because neither my private computer or my work computer allow me to log on. I'm not sure if it's a punishment for the videos I posted the last week.
Yeah,
violating the internet. Yeah.
I mean, it's the audio police coming to get you.
I think we've cracked it, you know.
Yeah.
That is it. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I hope you have a lot of batteries on your phone. Otherwise, it's even shorter.
I plugged it in, and it is barely creeping upwards. I started at 6%. I'm now up at 8%. So might turn the screen off or dim it down.
Oh well, technology isn't it fun? Let's start with talking about your recent. I mean, you are bombarding YouTube with videos. 2 videos since last we spoke.
I realized I'm just a few videos away from 100 videos, and I thought that is nice in 2025. So I just thought.
So you're rushing it.
Yeah, I'm cranking down the expectations and quality to ramp up. Basically quantity before quality.
well,
2 videos. It is. One is an actual build video, which is also rushed because I need the launch control box for my New Year's fireworks display. And I made a Hellcorder video. So, yeah, where to start?
Start with the fireworks.
Yes. I'm not sure if I'm painting myself into a corner. Because I have a plan to find an alternative means of transport for fireworks, since these traditional fireworks stick rockets in Norway are illegal. I tried finding other ways of propelling fireworks into the sky. And whilst doing so, I've been reading up on laws and regulations, and I struggle. I can argue myself out of a lot of things, but even here I'm struggling to justify that. This is perfectly legal. But yes, I've looked into a lot of different variations, and I ended up with, well, I just lose the stick, but I'm still going to use a rocket because it's true, tried and tested. So I got 6 RC rocket engines, not knowing how much thrust I needed. I got the biggest one with the longest thrust period, so I'm not sure, might have gone overboard. And then I realized to set that off in a controlled manner and also be able to film it, because I have to pan the camera to follow the rocket upwards, I need a launch control box. I had one before, but I repurposed it, so now I had to rebuild it. But now I started filming my project, so I got the opportunity to make a YouTube video out of it. So yeah, I put some switches and a battery together in a box, and it came out nice. Once I figured out the electronics of it, I
remember to connect everything.
Yes, and connect it correctly. I made a diagram, and then I did not follow it, and then it turned out it didn't work. And the thing is that the ignition switch has an LED circuit in it, so that when you energize it, the lights come on. And it turns out that that's a diode which is sensitive to positive and negative. So you can measure connectivity, but if you put minus on plus and vice versa, it won't work. So it took me a while to figure that out. And that switch has 3 pins, so the layout is a bit different. So you have to trace it. I'm not an electronics wizard by any means, so I have to, all right, the power comes from the negative and it goes to this terminal, and that means that this terminal is live, and I have to trace it all the way. And once I did that, it's like, yeah, and then that means that you have live power on this switch, and then if I turn that on, yes, it short circuits everything. So then I have to go back and rethink. And of course, by that point, I'd stopped filming because I thought I had enough footage, but what I filmed was me doing it completely wrong. So I had to put it into the video that I screwed up, and I had to rethink before someone points out that, well, that doesn't look like it's going to work. Because nope, it didn't.
Yeah, but don't be too hard on yourself. I mean, me working in the industry and making diagrams for others to install, it's not that uncommon that they don't follow the diagrams and try something else. But no, that does not work because it's not a circuit. So
yeah, it's good to hear. And of course, I always lay out my schematics from like a flow diagram, basically. So I start from left to right, and then I just put every component in the order which they are supposed to do anything in that circuit. And of course, on a diagram, the switches and the layout in the box might not be identical, and then basically you have to think, which is hard.
Yeah. And you have that I thought about with your diagram, that you just write the ground as a ground and don't connect all the grounds to one spot. That's an easy way to forget to connect everything as well.
Yes, I like just using the ground because it makes for a neater drawing to put on the video, but I should have drawn it out fully. I also want at some point to get the software where you can model a circuit and you can actually test it, and it will tell you if it fails or not. But I'm never going to do that advanced electronics, so learning that software just for this simple circuit, it feels a bit like overkill.
I was thinking, you say your stick rockets are illegal. Now, is that illegal to own or illegal to launch?
Both. And also not.
Because I was thinking...
in 2008, all the newspaper wrote that from next year it's illegal to use, and I read all the articles, and then I'm like, yeah, but where does it say? Because all the laws in Norway are on an online site where you can search them. And in no of the laws it says that it is illegal. So you have to go deep into some separate regulations for pyrotechnics, where it is stated very diffusely that stick rockets are defined as a class for pyrotechnics, which you need a license for. It's really not straightforward, and like any legal mumbo jumbo is hard enough to understand just from a linguistics point of view. But it's not illegal per se, because if you have a license for pyrotechnics, then you're allowed to both buy and use it, of course. That's why they can't make it illegal. So they just made a regulation that dictates that as a private person, you're not allowed to buy or operate it. And not operate it is the objective word here, because I also looked at it. But what if you make it yourself and don't buy it? But no, they put in some wording that nope, you're not allowed to make it yourself or any other explosives.
No, you're not allowed to make your own explosives at home. Yeah.
That's actually a good law, I would say.
Yeah. I was just thinking, if it was illegal to launch it, then maybe could you propel it into the sky first by some other medium, and then remote set them off?
Yeah.
So you're thinking like a drone carrier with lots of
I was
stick
thinking
rockets
more like a
on
trebuchet. Just fling them.
And the funny thing is that when I read all the laws and regulations, it kind of dawns on me slowly that not only do they make sense, but these regulations came in place because of people like me. I mean, if people just follow the user manual for the fireworks, put safety goggles on, and not try to do some funny things with them, this would not be an issue. But since you have people like me, like, what if? Then nope, we need some rules and regulations in place. Stat. So
I wonder what would happen if.
And another problem is, of course, I looked into using a potato cannon, which I don't own. And instead of using a rocket, what if I just sent it up like a bullet, but I need to rotate it to give it some gyro stability? But then again, I need a rotating barrel potato cannon, which is a bit of a stretch to build in 2 weeks. Of course, balloon. You mentioned drones. I did not think about that, but that is a viable option. But then again, attaching explosives to drones are a bit frowned upon in these days. So
I mean, it's very 2025, but
I mean, yes, it's very on point. Yeah. So now I'm going for a traditional rocket with fins, and there is plenty of options to fail there as well. So I'm glad I'm filming it. And then the final straw, which makes me second guess myself, is it's stated in the regulations that as a private person you can use these and these and these categories of fireworks. So check. I'm still within the boundaries of the regulations, and all fireworks or pyrotechnics should be used in accordance with the user manual for said fireworks or pyrotechnics. And if you read the letters on the side of it, it should be on the ground on a steady surface before use and whatnot. So I'm already on thin ice arguing that this is legal, but then again, I can't send it to the sky and also have it on the firm, stable ground at the same time. That's a catch-22. So
yeah, maybe.
And again, sometimes you just have to live a little. I mean, last time I checked, there is no death penalty for illegally sending up fireworks in Norway. So
they're probably not going to let you record the podcast from your prison cell, though.
No, but then again,
unless you smuggle a phone in somehow.
Yeah, and it's we're not guaranteed that Riverside will allow me to anyway at the rate where this is going. So
Yeah. Yeah, and if sending it into the sky in a different way doesn't really work out for you, maybe you should rethink it altogether and not sending upward, but sending it downwards instead. Because that's it. I mean, attaching it to something that sinks it deep in a fjord somewhere, or digging a deep hole and sending it down.
You're talking about a homebrew underwater nuclear test.
yeah,
I don't think his
Uh,
things are that powerful to be. But is that even
but
worse? Perhaps, I don't know.
I'm not sure if the world needs this, and I hope they have some quality control vetting procedures in place. But of course, I looked into like, okay, how hard is it to become a licensed pyrotechnician? You need to attend a course. I think it's a 3-day course. It's a bit pricey though. I think it's £2,000 for the entire course,
Oof.
and you have to have a logbook. So you have to have attendance at 10 fireworks display. So you have to contact one of the people who are registered already. There is a list online, and then you need to attend 10 huge fireworks display, and then they will have to sign off that you're now capable of doing this, and then you can apply for a license, which lasts you for a few years, and then you have to recertify. So it's a lot of money to just make a YouTube video every 3 or 4 years. And yes, I don't think me with a license to operate fireworks, that's a spiral down a rabbit hole nobody wants to go. I don't think, not even myself would like to have that power.
I mean, you were looking at different careers and working at somewhere else,
Exactly. You
setting
spent
up
all this.
fireworks
Yeah.
displays. Maybe that's your
Well,
thing.
you just extrapolate that idea again. You know, you spent your life as an engineer building things. Now you're going to just blow stuff up.
You know, a demolitions expert. That's yeah. Now we're talking. It's either that or I should reach out to. I don't remember his name, but the photon incandescentation guy and
Photonic induction. Yeah.
you have you have the power literally, and I have explosives. Should we collaborate?
Many years ago, when I was a student, I was sharing a house with a lady called Helen, who was an explosives expert, and she worked for the Ministry of Defence, going around decommissioning old Ministry of Defence sites. And so she'd come back to the house on a Sunday evening, covered in mud, smelling of cordite. And so, oh yes, I've just been out in Oxfordshire, just blowing stuff up all weekend.
Yeah.
Sounds like a great job.
It's when I worked in the Directorate for Cultural Heritage, we have an old, not far from where I live, we have an old explosives manufacturing plant, and part of it is now protected and conserved as a part of the industrialized history in Norway. And for those few old buildings that they wanted to preserve, they did a lot of tests of the soil because they did not care as much in the olden times. So they just, every spill or whatnot, they just dumped it into the ground, and that accumulates. So it turns out when they checked, it is very dangerous to operate excavating equipment there because they have been pouring nitroglycerin and whatnot into the ground to thinking that, if you put it in the ground, it will dilute it. But no, it turns out that it has been accumulating and concentrating in some parts. So they really had to spend millions and millions on sanitizing the ground before it's safe enough to work with. And of course, it's the same in my municipality. They had a explosives factory for many years. Of course, at that time, it was a plot of land far away from anything, but of course, as the city and everything grew, this is now a green lung where all the developers are drooling. They want that plot of land, but they have the same problem. It's so full of explosives and shit that you can't really do anything. And then, of course, the municipality don't want to pay for it. The company, long since bankrupt and merged into another company, they don't want to pay for it because they're not using it anymore. They're just the landowner by default. So, of course, what they're trying to do then is, all right, you can buy this plot of land and develop it, but then, of course, you have to spend hundreds of millions to clean it up first so it's safe, and nobody wants to do that before they can start putting foundations in for some apartments and whatnot. So it's just sitting there. And, of course, one day I was driving past it and I saw the gate was, well, it wasn't open per se, but someone has moved one of the boulders, so you could squeeze your 4x4, like, and this is an opportunity I can't say no to. So I've actually been driving on all those back roads on this plot of land, looking at all those old nice houses and structures, and I mean, it would be a brilliant place to have a workshop, but yeah. They closed it off again now, so there is but it's still open to the public, so it's a very nice area to go for a Sunday walk and whatnot. So it's not dangerous to be there, but yeah, using a digger and start turning the ground then becomes a bit iffy.
That could be fun. It just struck me that since you're not using your computer, you could record locally on that. Just open Audacity and record your microphone as normal and have that as a track. Perhaps, if you want a better sounding track.
That's a very good idea if you had it 22 minutes ago.
Yeah, but we can switch now. Who cares? We make the rules.
And there was the before audio, and then there was the later audio. Now, what you were just saying sounds a bit like a development which is just up the road from me, actually. And it's on top of a really, really old natural cave, a cavern. It's called Pen Park Hole, which is an enormous natural fissure in the earth. It's something like 200 meters deep or something ridiculous, with a hot spring at the bottom of it. And on top of this was an old pub, which closed down. Tragically, it didn't fall into the hole. Not a nice pub. But a developer bought it, knocked the pub down, and then realised that after they did a geological survey, that the ground basically underneath the pub and in certain other places around it was only 2 meters thick before there was just a great big void underneath it.
That's a big basement.
That's a very, very big basement, and it's been just hoarded off now for about 10 years because they bought it, but now they can't sell it because you can't do anything with it. And this backs onto a load of houses which are also built on top of this enormous hole, and they can't sell their houses because nobody wants them because, hey, guess what, it might fall into this enormous hole at some point.
That's so sad.
But it's, let's say I were to follow up on first mining company and like, all right, I'm going to make a small man cave under my garage. And then I started digging, and like 2 meter in, it like opens up to an immense like bat cave. I mean, it would be I wouldn't tell anyone. But yes, it is.
Yes, you would. You would make a YouTube video series about it. You would tell everyone.
Yeah, yes.
Here's me winching myself down to the very bottom. Let's see how deep it goes, shall we?
But then the big question comes up, which surfaces the media every once in a while. Like, how far down do you actually own your plot of land? Do you own the entire wedge down to the center of the earth? But of course, if the state or the municipality needs to put a tunnel in or something, they are very happy doing that under your house, and you have nothing you could say. So of course, if you found a big hole, could you claim it? This is mine.
This is my hole.
Yeah, you don't own that much down, I'm pretty sure, because I mean the mining rights and that sort of thing is not yours, and they
Yeah.
can do subways and that sort of thing underneath. So,
Yeah, but that's the thing though. You can apply for mining rights on your own plot of land, and of
yeah,
course it is a problem when you're living in an area that's defined as like a developed housing area. So they most likely don't want to give you a mining license for that plot of land.
yeah.
But I mean, in theory, if they said yes, you now also have a mining license, then I mean you could do whatever you wanted. Maybe I'm not. I don't
if
know.
having a mine is what you want.
Well, there is that fellow on YouTube, isn't he, who bought an abandoned mine somewhere in America. I think
Yeah,
it's
that
got,
old
it's
silver mine, is it?
yeah, Ghost Town Living, I think it's called.
Yeah.
And he does regular visits to all the different mines and seeing what's been left down there. And I think it was abandoned perhaps in the 1920s or the 1930s, probably after the gold rush.
Yeah, somewhere.
And yeah, just bought an entire town, houses, roads, mines, the lot. It's amazing what's still out there. I always think when you watch these, because I watch a lot of photography and sort of travel videos on YouTube, and you look at all these great big swathes of America that have just been left. The whole towns just still there,
Yeah.
and just
Yeah.
maybe 2 or 3 people living in them, but otherwise, they've got a town hall, they've got a cinema, they've got a supermarket, and it's all just been left. And they complain about overcrowding. Sort of like, well, you've got whole towns here with nobody living in them. Move a load of people out there. Set up a new community. Ta-da!
Yeah, I mean,
I know it's not that
nowadays with satellite and 5G and everything working remotely and that sort of thing, it should be a piece of cake of.
A lot of these were like factory towns or whatever, and the factory closed and the entire town went out of business. Everybody was made redundant on the same day when the factory shut, but that's not really a thing anymore, is it?
No.
It is. I think we discussed it in another episode. I'm fascinated how easy it is. We went for a canoe ride in Sweden, and at the end of the river where we ended the trip, it was a small town, which at some point I think it was a mining town or something like that, and it was booming. And then they closed the mine, and there's nothing else to do there. So 80% of the people moved away, but enough people stayed away that it's still operable. They have a municipality and they have a town hall and a cinema and whatnot, but it is very much borderlining a ghost town. And it is weird though. If opportunity knocks in some rural place, people are flocking and they're building houses and living there. But once those resources just turns off, people are reluctant to move away. So I'm fascinated of the people who are just left behind in the weirdest of places. Like, yeah, but I've lived here my entire life. Yes, you were born here, but you don't need to. Why can't you move? I'm like, no, this is where I lived my entire life. This is where I'm going to live. But it is a dump. Yeah, it is. And of course, they see it themselves as well. But but it's my dump.
It's my dump.
Yeah.
The devil you know syndrome. Yeah.
Yeah.
I could move somewhere else, but that'd be a dump too, and I wouldn't know anyone. Yeah. I do remember it's very different now, but about 30 years ago, there were places in France where you could go and buy an entire, I say village, it's probably an overstretch, a hamlet, a small commune, for about £5,000. The mayor's office, a collection of houses, and this will be places which have not been modernised for a very long time. There's no electricity, there's no running water, but you could just go and buy a village on a credit card. And I'm sure people did and turned them into successful holiday lets or whatever. I don't think that sort of thing exists anymore. They've all been bought up.
Yeah, probably. But I mean, that's what I would be looking for if I won the lottery. Because I mean, you can't really do much with it unless you have more than the 5,000. But if you have resources, then that could be really fun.
Good.
I feel.
You
Yeah,
can
should we
literally stand
should we talk about the Hellcorder Christmas music video as well? The audio
Why not?
attack on the world.
Sonic weapon.
Yeah, I think I have produced the worst sounding video on YouTube, if not the entire internet. And I feel it's an achievement.
Well, I mean,
It's
there
good
are a lot of
achievement.
crappy things that the kids watch, but it's up there at least.
Yeah, it's giving them a run for their money. No, I made a list, as I told you last week, I think, of 10 MIDI files of traditional Christmas tunes. And then I rigged up the Hellcorder in my workshop, so I thought I'll make a Christmas jukebox. And it turned out there is a lot of crappy MIDI files out there with a lot of tracks and not very good composed. So I ended up with 8 where I could use some of the tracks to get a decent melody, and with decent melody and yeah, add a bit of salt here. And then I ended up with making 4 of them work. So I made a 4 Christmas tunes jukebox. And of course, I have to apologize because it's not the 4 songs that people want to hear. But I did take all the public domain songs. So these are the old classics that are now freely available. So Fairy Tale of New York, All I Want for Christmas, the ones that we really want to hear, I did not use. Though I'm pretty sure running them through the Hellcorder, I think the YouTube copyright strike algorithm would struggle comparing them to the originals and flag them. But you never know.
It would be fun just to test it, try to upload it and see what it says.
Yeah.
I found nothing of value here. But I think it's good that you got it out of your system at least.
Yeah.
So now you can pack up the Hellcorder for not for good, but for a while.
Yeah, it's on my to-do list for tomorrow. I'm gonna pack it up because I also have to make fireworks. But it's gonna be nice to roll it out of the workshop as well and free up some space. Kind of looking forward to that.
So what about you, Phil? Have you been making something?
Only slow progress on the secret Christmas project. Even more slow because I had to glue some parts together and I put it all in claps, not realizing that it had slipped a little bit, and so I'm going to have to remake something. Remake the whole top of the thing that I can't talk about. Which is kind of annoying because that's laser cut. So I had to ask my friend, the art technician at work, could you make me another one? Because I sort of buggered up the first one. But that was fine. And the new one was made. And it was cut to some slightly modified dimensions, which means I don't have to slice this thing up on a track saw later. So actually it sort of worked out in the end, having to do it again.
Yeah, that's good.
So this weekend is full steam ahead with super secret Christmas project number 2.
So with that slow and steady progress, are you done in 2 weeks when roughly Christmas is?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, probably. Either that or it's going to get bumped to a birthday present because her birthday's on the 10th of January.
So she knows if you just get a gift card to...
If you get an IOU inside a card, yeah.
I mean, slap it to a piece of wood, then it's fine.
So homemade. There we go, as promised. No, it'll be fine. These things I normally find when you're sort of in the depths of despair that it's not all going correctly. Once you get those sort of big key pieces together, then it all sort of just slides together quite quickly towards the end.
Yeah.
Once you've actually figured out a plan, an idea of what you're going to do, just get the parts made and glue it all together and slap some finish on it, and it's all done, and it'll be brilliant. That's the attitude I'm taking anyway.
Yeah, it sounds like a good attitude.
Yeah, it'll probably be fine. And if it's not fine, well, let's consider this a prototype, and I'll do it again at some point.
Yeah, because, yeah, exactly. You can call it a Mark 1, and just this is something for feedback for the next version to see what works and what doesn't work. And
exactly, I'm just A/B testing, but
exactly.
Well, just A testing at the moment.
A to see the B. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. So let's use this for a bit and see what improvements could be made, and then it'll get put on a shelf and forgotten about.
Might be.
I don't know. Do you ever have that thing where you're halfway through building something and then you think about it and think, oh, do you know what? I wish I'd done it this way.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I very seldom course correct at that point if I already have done a lot of.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, this didn't turn out as good as it should. Meh, it's good enough.
It's good enough. It's not just good, it's good enough.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Leave good enough alone.
Yep. No, so that's what I've been doing, and putting up Christmas trees and editing videos, which is nearly done for the Secret Santa. It's just finding time.
Yeah, time is
I know.
not abundant at the moment.
Elusive, isn't it?
Yes, very much so. And it will only get worse, I feel.
So how about your good self? What have you been up to?
Well, I've finished the Nutball project, and I actually filmed it all. I just have to do some voiceover additions to it. So it's looking like it might be published at the same time as this episode, perhaps, or give and take a day or two. Yeah, that's what I'm aiming for, at least. But force me or anything can happen. At the moment, it's a lot of me trying to decide which of the 9 okay takes are least worst, so to say, because I can get really nitpicky with myself at times. But I think that will, I think it will show itself, and just add some music to it, and it'll be fine enough at least. And I also dug out my sewing machine because I needed to fix a sofa cushion that just split at a seam, and I realized that the seams weren't that good. So then I had to go through my pile of to-do sewing projects, which was laying on the sewing machine, more or less. So this pants needs to be fixed, and this shopping bag needs to be sewn up, and this bathrobe needs to be fixed, and that sort of thing. So I cleaned out that to-do list, which felt good. So now I'm actually ready to do a sewing project, which will be good because I feel I need a lot of space in the workshop to disassemble my dust extractor and see if it's an easy fix or if it's something is really wrong with it.
An easy fix or an expensive fix?
Yes, exactly. I really hope I can fix it because this is it is a cheap, crappy one, but it works. It works fine for me, but it's an outdated model. So I actually went around and bought up all the dust bags they had left in stock. So I have an ample supply of that. So it really should be good to have a dust extractor where they fit. Otherwise,
I've got loads of bags for a dust extractor that doesn't work anymore.
That is where I am at the moment.
Coming soon to eBay.
Isn't that a good project though? Usually the bag comes with one of these plates that you slide into this groove. That can surely be made out of plywood or 3D printed or whatnot. And the bag, if you get the right cloth that lets air through but also saves particles, you could make your own reusable bag. But then again, I'm guessing Electrolux and Philips, they have a hit squad, so they're all right, someone is on to us, all right, send the termination team, and then you will be shot and buried in the Swedish woods.
Yeah, maybe. But I actually have plans to do a dust extractor project, so I really hope I can get it working so I can do that as well, doing upgrades to it. But it needs to function before I can do some upgrades. So yeah, we'll see about that. And on a sad note, I reached the half-life of yet another set of Isotunes headset because the right channel stopped working, or the right.
Right.
And it's not. They last about a year in my care because I use them daily. Other than being in bed or in the shower, I have them around my neck all the time to listen to podcasts and listen to WhatsApp messages and that sort of thing. So they live a hard life, but it is it's not that good if you only have the left channel, because I realized that some YouTubers do record in single stereo, so to say. I think it was the latest Jimmy DeResta video that I started, like, I feel like he's talking in my other ear, which I can't hear at the moment because the audio was quite bad, listening only to the left channel.
Oh well, just that's an easy fix. Just put the earbud in the other ear.
Good thinking there, Phil. Good thinking. Yeah.
Does it not work like that?
Well, I think we have to send you back to school, perhaps. Yeah.
Oh no! Don't go. Don't make me go back there. I really didn't like it.
But yeah, the fix that Haavard suggested for DaVinci Resolve worked perfectly. I don't know how I missed that it was such an easy thing to just switch between what the audio should be like. I was sure I had tried it, but apparently I didn't. But I also I fixed the issue beforehand because I realized that I should reset my microphone, because as a lot of technical things, I bought it secondhand, and apparently it was in some weird setting. So a factory reset, and it started working flawlessly.
Yeah, unfortunately, that old adage of turn it off and turn it on again. It's very true.
Yes. It's a lot of crap stored everywhere nowadays in cookies and settings, and I don't know what.
Or weird settings, just turn it off, turn it on, reset, factory reset, default settings, and surprisingly, everything works now.
Yeah. So now it's getting good levels and decently balanced stereo as well. So.
Oh, that's good.
All is good. All is good.
Good stuff.
Of course, can't talk about it now, of course. This is a part of the Secret Santa, but the left-right audio thing is an issue we are going to revisit in an episode or two. So it's not
an ongoing saga
problem. Yeah.
Kind of boring saga, but yeah, a saga still.
Speaking about Christmas gifts. Now you already bought yourself something for yourself, KJ, the thicknesser. And I've been thinking though, is that the one I'm gonna get for myself for Christmas? Because of my wife's family, they have a tradition of they're just sending lists of things that they want to make it easy for others. And of course I'm frowned upon, because if I need something and I have the money for said thing, I just buy it. I can't wait for 3 weeks for giving someone else the opportunity of buying it as a Christmas gift. And then you have the gifts that are maybe too pricey to ask them from someone else, and the thicknesser would be one of those. So I've usually spent the last 2 or 3 Christmases like, this is the opportunity to getting myself something nice. Just using Christmas as an excuse to finally buy the thing that you have wanted all year. And my question to you is, do you use the same tactics on yourself? Are any tool purchases coming up for Christmas or?
Yeah, I usually buy myself a Christmas present, uh, but there's nothing really I have my eye on at the moment. It might be new iSatunes headset, and that's not fun in any way. But yeah, no, I have to. I haven't thought about anything, but I'll have to get back to you on that because I really should. Everyone should get themselves a Christmas present, so they're sure to get at least one thing that they really want.
Yeah.
What about you, Phil?
No. No, I haven't. I don't think I've bought myself anything. No, I haven't. And I'm really terrible at spending money. I don't like doing it, and just because it's Christmas doesn't really change that. I'm also terrible to buy for, because if there's anything I really want, I would have already bought it. And again, the things I would really quite like are very expensive, so no one's going to buy that for me.
Yeah.
I have I have actually agreed to buy a table saw from a friend of mine, but they are way up north, and so when that's ever going to happen, if it's ever going to happen, I don't know. I think we agreed this. It's got to be 6 months ago now, and maybe at some point I'll get up there to pick it up. I think there was an opportunity not so long ago when not they, but a family member would have been passing, but then it turned out that they wouldn't have room to bring it in the car, so that didn't happen. And I've not really got anywhere to put it, but it was a really, really good price. So it was one of those things of, I can't really afford not to take them up on this. So buy it and work out where the hell you're going to put it later.
Yeah.
So yeah, there is potentially perhaps a table saw heading towards Castle makes things at some point, but no.
That's a long way of saying no.
A very long-winded, round the houses way of saying no. I've bought nothing, and please don't buy me anything.
I just fell out of the conversation because when you said way up north, I like to Alaska, and then who had that song? And then yeah, that was Johnny Horton. So way up north. So yes, I have something in common with Phil. I'm not easy to buy gifts for either, and neither is my wife. She's very specific. I want this, and she send a link, and I want the blue one and this size or whatever, and that's the same. If I put down on my Christmas list, I would like a Makita planer, and then someone would like go to a hardware store. Ooh, there's a planer on sale, and you get the Ryobi one, and it's like. Yeah, but that's not the one I want. I want the other one because I researched it. It has the best score, it has the widest cut, it has the best quality, and it fits to the color scheme of all my other tools and battery and whatnot. But then I feel bad for turning it back. So if there is something I really want, even though if it's within, like, yes, someone could obviously buy this for me for Christmas, I just don't put it on the list, because if they buy something wrong, I'm gonna have to pretend I'm happy while I'm really not, and I have to go back and return it, and then of course they bought it at a store that don't have the one that I do want, and you don't get money back, of course. They just give you a refund for that store. It might not even be the store I frequent. So yeah, it's just a hassle.
Yeah.
So it's boxer briefs and socks all the way around. I mean, I couldn't care less about that.
Yeah. I mean, the easiest thing to go, you just fall back to books and chocolate. That's always good
Yep, pretty
present.
much.
So
Yep.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's we talked about that in the book episode, and I got tips of two writers I've never heard of before. So I just put them on a list. Anything by this guy. Anything by this guy. And that's the best
Yeah.
kind of because I've given them a direction and I don't know what the latest book is. I don't know if it's any good, and then they can do as much research as they want. And if they think that one book is a decent enough gift, then it's good. If they think it's a bit short, then buy two books. It's scalable. It's easy. The same thing with chocolate. You can buy a small
But
box or a big box, depending on how much you love the person.
that being said, though, the last couple of weeks I started reading The Hobbit again, which I really enjoy. It's like visiting some old parts of the woods where you used to play, so it's nice. But today I stumbled over a book I did not know existed. It's brilliant. Haven't read it, but I just want it. Of course, if you want to know what book it is, you have to go to the Half Pint.
Ooh,
Ooh,
smooth.
yeah.
You've done
So
this before, haven't you?
I have. So on that bombshell, we're wrapping up the main episode for this week. Thank you for joining us. Hope to see you next week and all that malarkey, like the professional says. And yeah, have a lovely whatever you're having. Now let's head over to the Half Pint before I forget which book I was talking about.
Yeah, let's go quickly. Have a good one. Bye bye.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.